Hello and welcome to the third launch party for this Little Zine Detective Edition. And I'm incredibly excited to invite one of our featured authors who has produced so many words for us this time around. They couldn't even be contained within like the page of the magazine itself. He wrote a zine unto himself. So excited by the work we did last week, and I'm so excited to invite him on to join with us. So please welcome to the stage, Chad Albin, one of our featured authors. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Howdy. I'm good. I think I'm good. Man, I tell you,
You look good, and that's half the battle.
it was a day.
Oh,
It was a day. It was a day. But we're here. We're breathing. I'm
we're
virtually
here.
not alone.
And it's not half
How
as
are
much of
you?
a day as what you as a monster put your not as a monster, but put your characters there. I'm all right. I'm all right. I am in the process of getting ready for some moving, and in the 2 minutes before I went live, a giant stack of books just fell over and is now adorning the entire floor of my room, which is great. Which is great, but it's the cost of
Dude.
my my intellectual lifestyle.
Yeah, well, that's why I go with audiobooks. Then they just fall on me. They don't actually adorn anything except the cloud.
There you go. They just wash over your earbuds, and you can choose to imbibe or not imbibe. Remembering that did help me get rid of a lot of them today. I had to do a big, dump. Anyway, this is less about me and less about the issue. So tell me, like, you got very excited about our detective prompt, while also being a little bit frustrated with me for not giving quite as much juice to the prompt as last time around. But why don't you tell us a little bit how you kind of like sunk your teeth
Mm.
into like writing a detective story?
Mm. Okay. Well, I think the key to it is that it's something like I'm not really a writer, so that helps. I think because uh man, like today is a good day, a good example. I woke up later than usual. I go to work. They pay me to go to work. It's a lot of work. It's hard. Although they pay me, it was like a day, like so like the writing to me is a way of like it's kind of like it's like I'm going to go do my own thing. Nobody can pay me for it. Nobody cannot pay me for it. It can either be good or it could be shit. I don't really care. And it's like, and that's why I like it. So
Hmm.
that's that's the basic of it. And on top of it, like for I saw how cool it was what you guys did with the last installment of the zine, and I was like really inspired to participate,
Hmm.
and so I wanted to participate. And
And boy, howdy, did you?
yeah, and so the idea, I kind of like that there wasn't more to the prompt
Hmm.
because like I like prompts. They help me. I
Hmm.
find it really difficult just to start writing, you
Yeah.
know. And so a prompt is a really fun way to just kind of like not have to be responsible for you know um, the nascent thought or whatever. And so like the
Hmm.
prompt kicks it off, and then you can just kind of wrestle with that and dance with that and have fun with that. And I did not set out to write like 8,000 words. That wasn't like that wasn't the goal. I
Hmm.
didn't know what it was going to be, but I didn't. The only reason it landed that way was because like the more that I was writing, the more the story wanted to be, um, the more that it wanted to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
No,
I
for
couldn't
sure.
just kill the thing, without it. And it's
Hmm.
bad enough that I kind of did cut it off a little short, like, and honestly, like I sent it to so many people. So, like Jordan Hall said that he felt like it was 20 chapters too short. And I'm like, what? Like, how am I supposed to write 20 more chapters of this?
I'm not sure if I go that far, but it's definitely like, I don't know, room to expand.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also kind of how I felt with the work that I produced last go round. Ended up being like really kind of like pushed against the deadline. I was like, I need to send something. And this summer was so crazy. I don't even have like a formal entry this time around. So you've done better than I have here. But I like it's a lot of work to write something short.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work to work inside of constraints as it is. Although they can be helpful. I don't know if like, yeah, I like there to be just enough constraints to where it kind of like pushes you into motion, and then like just kind of land the boat wherever it rests, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I mean, that is something that I found really interesting, kind of like how much the thing that I was building was sort of like outside of my control, and the idea that you're more trying to find something rather than just create something whole cloth. It's at least for me, it was like there's a thing out here, and I just need to kind of figure out where to stand in relation to that thing, so I can kind of like trace this outline in a way that I can communicate, to everyone else what I'm seeing.
Yeah, for me, the way that it started was, like I had. It's weird because what initially came to mind never got written. It's more of like background or something like that, and it may or may not actually be background, but it definitely started the ball rolling. So like the initial thought I had was, there was like, I don't know, like 20, 25 years ago, I was there were some guys that I used to hang out with. We used to get drunk and high and stuff, and one of the dudes was telling me the story about like this guy. He and his buddy used to go to this dude's house who was like this dealer, and and he just, I don't know if he was making this story up or if it was a true story or something, but he was like saying that one day he and this dude were like snooping, and they found like a bag that had like drugs and money and videos. And I was like creeped out by that. And but that's what came to mind. And in my mind, I thought that so in my mind, this is how the story was going to go. Okay, it was going to be the this guy ends up witnessing a murder, and but he takes the money and then leaves and goes to join like a monastery and becomes a priest.
Okay.
And and then later he sees this this guy who did the murder. And so that's where the story kind of started for me. But like as I started writing it, that wasn't the actual story.
Yeah, it is interesting that I can kind of see like the traces of that in some features of your story. How like,
yeah,
it's definitely not the same thing, but like the jumping off point is still there.
Yeah, and even still, it's like it's like if somebody wanted to write that, you could, but it's not the background. The more I think about it, I like the way that it is, where there is no explanation. There is no tie between these characters, really. And I like that.
Yeah.
So that was the initial start. And then I started writing it. And then you and Daniel from OG Rose had this conversation. And he was talking about like like how to tell a good story. Um, this other writer, Olin Butler,
Yep.
um, talked about like how to paint beautiful images so that they look more like a movie in your
Hmm.
mind when you're reading it or whatever. And so I was really thinking about that. That was really in my mind in the first part of my writing this thing. So it was like, for me, it was like this completely uncharted territory of consciously trying to write in a particular way where I'd never really done that before. So I was actually
Hmm.
trying to take direction from OG Rose in his kind of like bringing this up. And so like when I was writing, it was really difficult for me to get into like a pocket or feel like a flow state or something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And also I was researching uh, like where this might happen as I was writing it. So
Hmm.
there wasn't a whole lot of time to just be in flow state, but it was like still really good to do it, I think, this way. And then and then I would read, like I had, I don't know, a couple chapters, and then I read them to Anne, my wife, and she was like giving me like, she's like, it sounds like it should be. She's like, I don't know what you're doing exactly, but maybe you should look at this idea and really focus on that. And so she was giving me some direction along the way,
Hmm.
and it was a lot of fun to do that. Um, and then uh, and then I wrote a bunch. Like I don't know how many chapters I had. It wasn't complete yet, but Neil and Mark S and uh, Ethan Cahy and Ezra. I think that's the only guys that came. We went out to dinner, and
Hmm.
it was the first time I was going to meet Ezra in person, and I gave him like a hard copy of the story as
Hmm.
as it was written up to that point, and and so like at that time I was like, well, now I have to finish it. So I was like,
Yeah.
right, um, but yeah, yeah, and then so then after I wrote it, then Anne did the editing of it, which was really helpful. Um,
Gosh, if you could, yeah, I mean, those are two like really, really different kind of like psychological operations. It's really nice if you can kind of like just farm that out to like another brain entirely.
mhm.
That's really helpful.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, because otherwise you would have got a complete mess, you know. And but yeah, so I didn't have to really worry about it, which is really nice. So, and she really helped the story too. There were certain things that she helped. So I told her, like I said, I totally trust your intuition and intellect and all that stuff. Just do whatever you're going to do to it.
mhm.
And so I think she did a great job. She really made the story really what it is. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
Oh, oh, I got a big dog in the house. Well, I'm trying to think what else really there's to talk about, unless you want to like do a reading. So I just hit publish right before we sent. So we're doing chapter 3. I feel like is where you kind of really get thrown into the middle of things. I think that's the conversation between the father and our detective.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. Do you want to do a reading?
Sure.
Mm.
I can try to do it. Unless you
Well,
want to.
we got two dialogue characters here, so we
Oh,
can hand off here if you've got it.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Hmm.
Let's see. Chapter 3. Keepers. Okay. Who do you want to be?
Um, I'll be the detective.
You want to be detective and narrator?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. After catching, so what is this thing called again? I botched it initially in the title. So, 16th and Grant by Chad Albin, Chapter 3. Uh, After catching up on some paperwork, Jeff headed back south. He took Lincoln Memorial past Bradford Beach. He liked to catch the morning sunrise on the lake when he could. He took 794 and cut west on Lincoln Avenue in Bayview. And as he pulled up to Pulaski Park, he could see Father Ken sitting at a park bench, smoking a cigarette and sipping what he assumed was coffee. Jeff stepped into the cool morning air. It was fairly quiet aside from the usual morning traffic and debating birds. Jeff took a seat next to him. I didn't know you smoked, Father, he said.
I don't. I forgot how great these things are, though.
He said through a cough. He looked exhausted, scared and ashen. He wasn't the man Jeff had come to know. You want to tell me what's on your mind, Ken? He asked. Father Ken looked at Jeff as though the weight of reality set in. The mention of his naked name had rendered him homeless. Ken straightened up and looked away with a scoff.
Who's your patron saint, Jeff?
He asked. St. Michael the Archangel, said Jeff.
Of course it is.
Ken said with a stab of cynicism. Yours? Asked Jeff.
Thomas,
he said.
I used to think it was about doubt. Now I think it's about certainty, security even.
He lit another cigarette with the one he was smoking.
You want one?
He offered, extending the pack to Jeff. No thanks. I'm driving, Jeff said coolly. They sat in an awkward silence until Ken blurted.
I killed someone, Jeff. There's this guy, this fucking pervert. I lost it. I smashed it in his skull. I hit and hit and hit. I don't even know what happened.
Ken said between sobs and began to hyperventilate. Whoa, calm down, Father. I need you to take it easy right now, said Jeff calmly, though shocked by the sudden admission. I need you to think very seriously about what you're saying. You know I'm a detective. And you sure you want to go ahead with this? Father Ken nodded through hitched breaths. Okay. I'm going to take out my phone and record this. Are you okay with that? Jeff asked. Father Ken sat for a moment trying to compose himself. He nodded again and took a pull on his cigarette.
Yeah, okay,
he said. Jeff pulled out his phone and hit record. He read Ken his rights. Okay, Father, I'm going to need you to tell me all you can about this. Who, where, when, and anything in between. Can you do that? Father Ken nodded. For the tape, please, Father, Jeff said.
Yes, I understand. I can do that,
said Father Ken. He continued.
I walk down here most days to get some air and some alone time. The loop around the park is a nice walk.
He cast a pointed finger about like a magic wand, gesturing down the hill towards tennis courts and kids' play structures.
Last week, I was sitting down over there, kind of half paying attention to some tennis players and half lost in thought when, for no particular reason, some old guy in a handicap scooter caught my attention. I didn't think much at first. Then I noticed he was taking pictures of kids at the playground. And then there was something off about it. He definitely wasn't family or anything. I approached him to say something, but he just raced off. A few days later, a similar thing happened. Only this time I did say something, threatened to call the cops if he didn't leave. He laughed and he said it were rich coming from a priest. Then he said it was a free country and rode off. I didn't see him again until Saturday.
Ken stopped to take a long drag from his cigarette.
I was walking up 16th back to the rectory when I noticed him a couple hundred yards up the block. I followed him. He got to a house on the corner of Grant. He got off the scooter and walked, no problem. Looked like he was faking or something. I watched a bit and noticed him put a little kid's bike in the back of his truck along with some other stuff that looked like trash. After he went into the house, I went to the front door and knocked, and nobody answered.
Father Ken grimaced with agony and began to cry as he continued.
I tried the handle on the door and it opened. I went in and helloed the house. Nobody called back. There was a hammer and a tool bag in the kitchen table, and I grabbed it. Not even sure why. I helloed again to nothing. I noticed an open door across the kitchen. It was the basement. I went down. There were boxes and all sorts of shit everywhere. Then there was this room. The door was closed, but I could hear music. I opened the door.
His voice caught as he remembered the horrific scene.
He was standing there with his pants around his ankles, and there was this little boy with him crying. I screamed and went for him. I don't even know what I was going to do, but I didn't have any time to think. He came at me and stumbled, and I took the hammer and just kept hitting him over and over and over. There was blood everywhere.
He paused again to smoke.
The boy must have ran away when the piece of shit fell. It's a bit blurry, but he was gone when I went upstairs to look for him. I panicked, cleaned myself off, bagged up my clothes, and took some clothes from the house and hurried back to the rectory. I tossed the bag of clothes in a dumpster along the way home. When I got home, I was sick. I can't explain the feeling. I had Saturday evening mass, didn't sleep at all. Then mass on Sunday. Another day torn and racked with guilt. And then I called you last night, and now I'm here.
He finished and lit another cigarette with trembling hands. You didn't talk with anyone about this? Jeff asked.
No, only you just now.
Will you go there with me? Walk me and my partner through it once more?
Yeah.
Ken said. Did you happen to get the address by chance? Jeff asked. Father Ken, who'd already begun to visibly calm down, nodded and recited the address. Jeff entered the interview and quickly dialed his partner. Ty, I need you to run a check for me. Find out all you can about a guy living at 2200 South 16th. I'm headed there now. Meet me there. I'll explain when I get there. 10-4, boss. Just go for it.
10-4, boss. I'm just down the street getting some coffee. See you soon as.
Yeehaw! Jeff looked at Father Ken and said without relish, I'm going to have to cuff you now. You know you're under arrest. Ken nodded and held out his hands. All right, then. You can ride up front with me. Jeff helped him to the car, and they set off. That doesn't make you intrigued. I don't know. That was chapter 3 of 16th and Grant by Jed Albin. Excerpt.
Thanks for reading it.
Oh, yeah. Notice I pawned off the incredibly intense part on you rather than myself. It's a lot easier to be the interviewer.
Yeah. I feel like it reads better in your head than out loud, but maybe that's just amateur writing. That's okay.
I mean, inexperience, man. This is something I go through all of the time in my line of work. It's like, how do you get so good at this crazy, silly thing? It's like the only secret is practice. So just find something worth doing and keep doing it.
Yeah.
We're all novices around here.
Yeah, we try to have fun with it. I think, like, for me, at the end of the day, what all this is, it's for fun and for free, and I have like this kind of weird like stance about like you can bitch and complain about AI all you want and things like that, but if you're not writing anything, then what's the point? Like, to me, that's what all this is for. You know, like, I don't need I'm not even worried about AI writing for me. I'm more worried about like Hollywood and things like that. Like, why don't I just do our own stories and not have to worry so much about whether they're good or bad, because there are stories.
And I mean, like, especially when you get to like starting to ask the question once you've like made a thing, and then you have to deal with, as somebody who's created a thing now, just feel the shame of exposure. Like, I put a thing out there, people could now have opinions about whether it's good, whether it's bad, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you just fed all these prompts into a robot, why would you care? I mean, on one hand, I guess it's like psychic self-protection. Like, I can't be held liable for work that a robot did rather than myself. But also, like, you can't really make it better. I mean, I guess, I don't know, you prompt harder or whatever. And
yeah. Well, I mean, I heard the thing that Grizz prompted. I was pretty astonished. And I felt like if I had to be in some sort of like competition, then I'm screwed. So that it's not a competition. It's about it's about participation. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's like to me, it's a gift to be able to do these things, whether they're good or bad. I don't really, you know, it's. I don't think it's a bad story. I'm finding it difficult to do a follow up. Like I've been like, uh, so I don't have shame in sharing it. I have shame in trying to figure out how to follow the damn thing up.
Yeah.
So and I've been playing with that a little bit. I've been working on a story for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm not. Well, I shouldn't even worry about how good I feel about it because I didn't feel good about writing this one. Like this wasn't. It didn't feel good when I was writing it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like, wow, this is good until it was done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, like you also kind of you wade into some pretty intense subjects.
Yeah.
What was that like? Kind of once you realized that's the direction the story was going.
Mhm.
Was there any kind of like trepidation, or is it just like, nope, this is like I'm as surprised as my detective character is at what spilled out of that priest's mouth, and I'm just got to roll with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, so right now I'm listening to a book by a guy named Jim Henson, and it's a detective story.
Hmm.
It's called The Great Leader,
Okay.
and like I think it'd be a really great book if it wasn't for all the kind of gratuitous sex stuff that's happening in there.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't want to write something like that. But I didn't feel like this story broached too much into um, like unforgivable text. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
if it was like the whole thing was just like this gross kind of exhibition, borderline pornography, that would be gross. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I think um, what I was playing with. And I don't mean to judge Jim Henson too harshly. I mean, he was doing whatever he was doing. And, like it's cool if you can do it, great. But I wasn't gonna do that sort of thing. I didn't feel like um, I didn't feel like I
Oh.
was. It was too
Oh.
harsh or too racy or anything like
Mhm.
that. I felt like it was, in some sense, I felt like it was a true story, though.
Yep.
So it didn't feel disrespectful. I think in the
Mhm.
long run.
No, no, I don't think so either. Like it dealt pretty frankly and matter of factly with some dark, facets of reality.
Yeah,
But it wasn't salacious. It wasn't like exhibitionistic.
yeah,
It's again, like you did a good job of kind of like embodying that detective archetype of being the guy who sees the things people don't want to see and
hmm,
records what needs to be recorded for the sake of bringing light to dark places. But
yeah,
it's not. Um, it's trying to do. I don't want to say quite like non-judgmentally, but it's very kind of like matter of fact.
hmm,
Mm.
yeah. And it was like I like that. I like playing with some of the ideas. Like there are things that even though he was a detective, like things that he couldn't see, which I think that
Hmm.
is part of that genre. Is a detective can see a lot of things, but there are things that are very human in his own life that he can't see, which I
Hmm.
like.
Hmm.
I like playing with that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, the fact of especially when like all of your life is dedicated to like gazing at a particular kind of thing. I mean, it's just our nature that like we see forward and there's a lot going on behind us that if we don't turn our heads, don't turn our bodies to the other areas of life, it'll just blow right past us.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I really love the story. I really like the story. And it's weird because I feel like sometimes people are like weirded out if you say you like your own work or whatever. But I didn't. I can't really take credit for it. I just, you know what I mean. That's the weird part
Uh-huh.
about it. Like, I didn't consciously set out to write that story. It just was written,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right, right.
And I'm really, I don't know. I think that's so fun to to like color a coloring book that doesn't exist. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it's a weird emotions that kind of that greet you once you kind of like put a thing together. For me, there was like a lot of there's some pride. I was really happy with myself that I like completed a thing, and just a little bit of like delight at some of the things that kind of made it in there. And part of it is some of my own idiosyncrasies. I was very happy to see kind of a lot of different puzzle pieces kind of connect together in ways that surprised me initially.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You the anonymous guy who wrote the teeth thing?
no. I don't have a story submission this time around.
Sure you do.
I,
Sure you don't.
I, sure. No. That is not mine. The anonymous bit is not to take credit for other people's work. If somebody wants to adopt their orphan story, like,
Mm-hmm.
they know it's already been read.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, all of that was in part just an offhand comment from my conversation with Daniel. He was just like, "I love the fact that like there's no names attached to this," which was not something I thought about initially. Aside from the fact, um, yeah, I didn't think about that initially, but he appreciated the affect of like not immediately having like a specific author's voice attached to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Although I feel like in your case, you kind of like dropped some clues pretty early on that would make it hard to like make it easier for folks to guess who wrote this story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know that. So was that a thing we're trying to do? Is anonymity in there?
But no, only in the sense of not having the author's title at the very front of the story,
Mm.
so that because and this is something that after he said it, I'm like, no, that gels with my sensibilities a lot, which is we want to be like story first people rather than
Yeah.
author first.
Right.
Very much like I'm a big fan of kind of like raw interpretive interactions with the stories. Um, First and foremost, yeah, trying to diminish as many kind of like preconceived notions. So I didn't want to do too much of like a lead up to any of these. Um,
Yeah.
but again, like it's your story, and you're welcome to. And I think pretty much everyone has like adopted their just about everybody. I think has adopted their orphan stories.
Mm.
But we will also say that like the zine as an institution is an anonymous account respecting institution, and we
Mm-hmm.
may play around with some like the anonymous issue where we just publish a lot of horrendous hot takes that nobody wants their name attached to, and something like that. Um,
Yeah. No, I like that. I like the idea of well, first of all, we're practically anonymous anyways because this little corner of the internet doesn't exist. So there's
I don't even
that.
know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, I mean it's like who are we anyways? You know what I mean? There's like but I do like the idea. Today I was watching this video the guy was talking about how he said the video was called How Sleep Token Broke the Internet.
Mm.
And it was really interesting how he kind of laid out what they're doing with the anonymity thing and how it kind of fosters this kind of like exploratory kind of participation and so on top of the fact that there's good music there
Mm-hmm.
it invites the listener to participate in creating the story with them. And that would be a cool thing to play with as far as like literature goes.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of
yeah.
fun to do.
Well, I guess probably it's now talk about the next prompt here. Let me go to the live chat. In 1 second here. The right one? No, that's not the right one. Shoot. Bad. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, I think I dropped the link again. I think this is the point where we can start to invite other folks on if they want to come and hang out in chat. But the other thing I wanted to do with this scene is talk about the talk about the new prompt for the next issue. And one of the things that I found something that I'm pretty pretty excited about, and I think it does play a little bit more with making something that is more of a group project that's a little bit more participatory, and it's also inspired by our ill-fated boat ride that we took on Afriel's boat at our Pacific Northwest Greater Regional Aggression Protocol meeting 2 weeks ago. And that after we got the boat, we limped the boat back to shore. And we were all kind of like sitting around the campfire and kind of were like, it's not going to sink in the harbor tonight. We can go. It's like all of my other hats are in my garage right now. We were kind of like sitting around the fire, and then Af had to go run back to the Af had to go run back to his boat and grab something, and he came back with the ship's log. And he's like, everyone's got to sign it because you were there. And any notes you have about the voyage, any comments about what you just went through, feel free to put those into print. And I'm just kind of looking at this thing, and I'm like, it's a really kind of like simple, kind of like almost like Excel spreadsheet form. It's very bare bones. But there's a lot that you can do with it. So for the next issue, which is broadly speaking, we're going to ride the Odyssey's coattails. And I initially said we're going to do something like journey or vacation. But in this case, the big thing that I want to do with this issue, and again, if you've got other ideas, inspired by the Odyssey, inspired by vacation, or inspired by the fact that we're probably going to dump this around Halloween time. So if you want to do like a monster story or a scary story, we'll accept all those as well. But the big thing I want to do is I have a template that I cooked up this morning. And it's basically just a very simple, like, name, weather, longitude, latitude, the simple boaty stuff. And then I want the story to be contained inside of like the ship's log. So I hopefully want to get like, a series of folks to get like a half page of, so we stopped on this island and X happened and Y happened and Z happened. And see what you can do with like conveying a story with a very, almost like, bullet points. And then maybe have a big long live stream and try and make a story out of it.
That's awesome. That's creative as heck, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna read it. You're gonna read
My
it.
editor.
You're gonna read it like a ship log. Or write it like a ship log. Okay.
Yes,
cool.
write it like a ship log, and it's everyone gets like one entry, and then I'll edit it and try and figure out the best way to kind of string all of them together, and then hopefully get everyone together and do both like a read through the ship's log, and then hopefully have everyone elaborate on like the events behind the ship's log entry in greater detail.
Okay.
But the other thing to remember is like you do not get to see anybody else's entries. So you have to figure out some way to like record an entry that is worth recording, some kind of adventure that happens. And find an adventure that you have to work hard to find something that nobody else would think of. So like how can you distinguish yourself in some way?
So it's kind of like in Star Trek, like each episode is its own entry log, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of like at an Airbnb, they have the guest book.
Yes.
And like oftentimes you'll see like, they'll give like a little page worth of what their vacation was like and what they did. That'd be kind of cool.
I've got a template worked up, Grim. I'll post it to the Substack, and I'll actually write out like a concise commercial for you. Email it to thislittlezine@gmail.com. But the biggest thing, it has to fit onto half of a page. So
you think it'll definitely be out by the end of October or a little later?
Because it's a pretty straightforward prompt, and this is all all we're really asking for. Then I don't think we should have too much trouble with that.
All right, Chad. I might give it a shot.
That all depends.
Yeah, dude, just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's grading you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it doesn't mean we're not going to judge you, but nobody's going to grade you.
I expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because, like, I thought it was the initial prompt was going to be vacation, and so I started writing a prompt on vacation. So now I have to figure out what to do with that story.
You can finish it. We'll find space for it.
Okay, as long as you'll find space for it.
Yeah. Well,
otherwise,
I mean, if it's another 20-pager, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to write like for nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't want to write for me. I want to write for somebody else. So my own Substack shit is weird shit for where my like emo fucking sorrowful bullshit. Okay, so don't make me put a vacation story on there.
Are you saying you can't have an emo sorrowful vacation? Come on, man.
True. Man. Anyways, no, it does make me feel good though to participate. That is one of the great things, is it feels good to participate. Like it actually feels like it feels good to contribute to it. And that's the biggest thing I would say for anybody who's considering, really just play it, see what happens, see how you feel.
Yeah. And again, like hopefully I really like this this template, and hopefully it makes it a lot easier for folks to pitch in and throw something in there.
I'd like to get some feedback on the. I posted the 16th and Grant on my Substack. I'd like to get feedback if we like the images or not. I thought maybe it was kind of weird to put pictures in there, but I was playing with that. So always welcome suggestions.
I didn't look at it, but I know you did research to be accurate in the story, as far as the locations, and I thought that was cool. Pretty cool.
Did you do a lot of, I don't know, like Google Maps research, or did you do some kind of like walking around to kind of get the feel for like, what would I be doing if I was killing time at a park here or this or that?
Yeah, no, it was for some reason South Milwaukee came to mind as the place, and probably because one of my favorite churches is in South Milwaukee. Although the priest that I wrote about, he's not the priest of that church. It's just I don't even know what church the guy is a priest of. He's Catholic, but anyways, so South Milwaukee came to mind. And then I thought there must be a park down there or something. And so then I looked for like a city park, and I found Pulaski Park. And then I thought of like, as I was writing, I thought of what it would be like to like, where is he walking? Because he said he followed him as he was walking, and then that's where I landed on that particular location. And so it was weird. It was weird, like doing like this left brain kind of research while I'm trying to write a story. But it worked. Yeah. So hopefully the person who lives there never reads it. The secret title of the story is The House of Woo, by the way.
Okay. Ooh. There is you do bring the woo for your story in yeah, this is a lot going on. I'm excited for you guys. Got a little snippet from Where Tonight, but there's angles over here, there's angles over here. There's a lot more going on. I'm excited to hear what everyone else has to say.
Very straightforward. It's a very straightforward story.
Your classic postmodern neo-noir detective story, non-linear narratives.
I
High
really
tech
feel like
low lives.
my like my favorite writer really is Stephen King.
Mm.
So he must have had an inspiration on that. There must have, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's always been kind of wishy washy about where the stories come from. He's just like, I don't know, they're just there.
Yeah. But his detective stories are pretty good too. I like his stuff. Oh man, what the hell?
I know he's got like the Mr. Mercedes trilogies, kind
Mr.
of like
Mercedes,
recent. I haven't read any of them. I think part of the TV show for like the first book.
Yeah. No, I read them. They're good. I like them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm
He
trying
was
to think.
really good, except for like the last couple things he wrote were just trash. But I really love his writing a lot.
Yeah, no, he's one of those. He just produces so much that yeah, every now and again, like he really kind of like strikes gold in some pretty remarkable ways. Yeah, no, I read a ton of him in like kind of like high school time frame, and haven't picked him up lately. I think I reread it a couple years back.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I guess I've always had a problem with like coming up with a cool twist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can do like a double twist, that like always seems to set stories off into a whole nother, you know. I mean, I've never been that creative as far as like coming up with the whole thing like that. But I always like those the best.
you don't. My experience with that is I didn't know where the story was going to go. You just write the story, and then if there is a twist that shows up, don't judge it and don't try to make sense of it. You know what I mean? For me that was the key. It was like, who says any of this has to make sense? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing. You know, like just I don't know. Somebody, yeah.
That's why this is gonna sound really gay, but I had a girl that I dated, and you know, she liked reading books. You know, so like you and your wife would write together, right?
Hmm.
So we would read some books together.
How's that gay?
Well, no, I'm about to say why it's gay because we read Gone Girl together.
Okay.
But what was crazy is I was like the way that the book was structured, you know, like I don't know if you ever read it, but like it's like it's like I forget which order it was, but it's like his point of view, and then all of a sudden it shifts into her point of view. And it's like writing from two different author stances, which was so crazy, like to read a book like that, you know, because like you know, like all of a sudden you have a different author that's writing, and it was like just kind of so like it twisted and then it twisted again. And so I just think that like stuff like that is just very unique and very creative to come up with a way. That's why when you said the ship log thing, I was already envisioning the whole book. Like it was like, you know, like, oh, what if you did the whole book in ship logs? Like,
Right.
and so like that just sounded like kind of like that. Like you were literally totally doing something that just, I mean, maybe it's been done before, but it just doesn't seem like it.
I mean, no, it's definitely been done. I mean, like the book Dracula is told like exclusively through like found archival kind of like artifacts. It's all journal entries, and
I've never written that. I've never read that.
It's really
Read
good.
that.
Like I love Dracula a lot. It's really compelling, and it's also got a lot of different kind of like shifts in authors, because you have I mean, it starts off with Mina Harker's husband, who's Jonathan, who's sent to go like help Dracula conduct like a real estate exchange in London, and it's just him like writing letters home to his wife, and he's just sort of like the most oblivious guy in the world, who's just, you know, talking about how like weird and superstitious these people are, and he's just like completely oblivious to the fact that this guy who has invited him into his house is trying to kill him. And it's like both spooky, ominous, and also at the same time pretty comical. and then it shifts to the folks in England side, and you have like a doctor who's dealing with like a patient who is under Dracula's influence, and so it's his psychiatric notes about this patient's care. And that gradually kind of like unfurls as you discover that this guy is in some sort of like psychic connection with Dracula, and so he's a source of information. And a couple other characters pop into. It's really interesting. I like it a lot.
So but I mean that's more like what you're talking about with the Gone Girl thing, right? You're using that as a comparison. What about though with the ship log? I mean that I don't think has that been done before in a single book.
I would frankly be shocked if it hadn't.
I mean, I don't read enough fiction to know if that's.
I'm curious if you get did the ship log get uncovered in some sort of archaeological dig or something? Are you going to write that too?
It depends on what ship log we get, I guess. I guess I do need to flesh out like the captain and the time frame a little bit. Or I could just leave it, or like, how do you tell the story in such a way where I don't? I know what you can do. It's probably easier just to flesh out like the captain.
If it's going to be the Odyssey,
get a little. What's that?
If it's going to be if it's going to be like the ship log of the people on the Odyssey ship, like you could make it like it turns out that Odysseus was a real person, and you can make like this whole kind of meta thing about like it was a real person, and we found the ship log, and this is the proof, the archaeological proof that they existed and whatever. Or no, either way.
Not so much that. I'm more interested in like an extended sort of like swashbuckling adventure.
Okay.
So we're looking for ship logs about the various adventures that a crew that's trying to get home ends up on their way home.
Nice.
Very flotilla-esque.
I like boats, man.
Well.
Yeah, but like so many things, like I like to leave a lot of space for folks to like play and test the boundaries of my constraints. So, if you want to force my hand and try and figure out how like it technically fits your constraints and like it's technically a craft, I don't know. We'll see if we can make everything fit. But I'll have to probably buckle down and kind of like flesh out a little bit more, like the captain, where he's going. But again, like leaving so much underdetermined means like you can create your own characters in the crew, talk about the untimely death of like Sergeant Scalawag or whatever. And
okay, I see what you're saying. I was under the impression that you were saying that it was going to be the actual characters of the Odyssey.
No.
Okay, I see.
No. Just Odyssey as a template for like a journey home. And specifically the fact of a journey home that like the further along they go, the more kind of crew members they lose. But again, you could also, like add crew members in if you'd like. Talk about how we like plucked this kid out of the seas and, he told us his story or something like that.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, again, like the constraint is formal, and it's my job as an editor to figure out how to like make all of this fit together.
Okay, you should make the character names and in which order they die. That way, everybody knows. And so, like, if you say, "I'm going to be whatever this character," and then I don't know.
Yeah, maybe everyone can say like why or write the story of how they fell off of the ship in some sense. Like, what happened to you on Island X that caused you to like get left behind? Did you fall to your untimely demise?
Well, Chad's way would definitely make it easier for you as an editor, for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for easy.
I know. I'm just saying.
I feel like we're not helping at all. I gotta tell you guys that all the stories that are in the zine are really great, and don't judge these stories by this shitty podcast. They're really good stories. I'll speak for myself. I've had a very, very, very sour day, and so I'm not up for this, but I'm here. So
Right.
it was one of those days where, and these days hardly ever exist for me. Today would have been a day that a drink would have been fucking awesome. That's the kind of day it was, and for no reason, but like, yeah, that's the kind of day it was today. So,
we have a request to do a reading. I mean, it's you're welcome to hop on, Olson. Don't need to repin the link. It should be relatively close by. And we'll see if these guys up for. I mean, I think it's another like 10 pager or so. So it's a long read, but
there's
Olson
an audiobook version of the 16th and Grant. Neil has it. I would suggest listening to it on 2X.
Right. That's what I forgot to do.
Who'd you get it?
I got so.
Who'd you get it? Who'd you get to read it?
Neil read it.
Oh, he did. Okay.
But you want to listen to it at 2X, otherwise it doesn't really vibe. But and it's like 45 minutes long. So
Where is that? It's on Neil's channel.
it's unlisted on Neil's
I meant
channel.
yeah. Oh, is it on? Okay. I meant to try and pin it. If I have the link, I can just put it on the excerpt.
Yeah. You can also put it in the description of this video.
Yes, I can. I just need to. I got so caught up in.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I read it, but it would be cool to hear it. You know how I am with the audio and the reading. It'd be kind of cool. I wonder what else I'd pick up from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I do want to thank everybody that did read it, and all the great feedback that there was. And I feel really good about that. That helped me out a lot. I felt seen, I felt heard, and I felt like I contributed something good or a good purpose. And I think that's what to me, it felt like it's at the core of what we're doing in this fellowship of ours that we have, whatever this is, whatever that is.
Yeah, I think that's what made me inspired to do it, was you guys, because I told you, that one night we were talking about, I just don't write, and so you were really encouraging me and helping me figure that out, and so that was real helpful. And so yeah, so I think, and plus, like, I'd love to feel what you're feeling about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dog.
Oh. Yeah, I'm curious, Chad, how you feel about like writing and stuff like this. Because my whole approach to doing kind of creative work is sort of like the best way I find to cut it in there is by massively kind of like downplaying that I'm doing anything interesting or important or worthwhile. So sort of like try to take it as like non-seriously as possible. Like I'm just messing around, just throwing words on a page or whatever. And if something happens, it happens. And if not, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
my approach is it's all show and tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have a tell-off, which is that it's for my friends, for show and tell, then I'm happy to play. And then what I do is I have to set aside time to do it. And for me, I set aside like an hour in the morning, just write. There's no limit on how much I write. If I write like whatever 3 paragraphs in an hour, then that's it. But that's how I do it. And I don't. What's important is that I'm participating in show and tell with my friends. That's what's important. So not that I'm important, because I'm fucking not.
You're important to me. You did such great work for this thing, and I really, really appreciate it.
Shut up.
Let me see.
All right. So we are we gonna try to read it?
Let me see if I remember where I had it nearby.
Good old Olsen.
It's under all the other things, coffee stains on it, and
Oh, I was sitting on it. There it is.
don't.
He was sitting on it.
Both literal and no, just kidding.
I'm in the process of moving. We're like 2 minutes before I hit play, like a 6-box stack of books just fell right over in my anteroom. It's
Moving's the worst.
ugh, especially for literate people. Ugh.
Yeah. Everybody's showing off their bookshelves, but that would take that. I don't think I have enough StreamYard time to show off my bookshelf.
Right.
Oh, brag a little.
Does it include all the kids' books?
No, that wouldn't include it.
Oh.
Definitely if it include the kids' books.
Red hat, orange hat, green hat. Oops.
Everybody poops. That's one of my favorites.
Classic.
One hump
Dude.
camel makes a one hump poo. A two hump camel makes a two hump poo. Yeah.
This guy is awesome. Mo Willems is hilarious.
Oh,
Here's
yeah,
what I want to tell you guys.
The
Listen,
pigeon guy.
for real, no bullshit. If we really wanted to make a living doing this stuff, we should probably perfect the art of children's books. For real. Because for 2 reasons. One, good children's books needs to be made, and 2, like, it's a hell of a demographic.
They're always around.
That would be interesting. Maybe something to play with at a future date. The children's edition or something like that.
Yeah,
Dude,
that'd be really good.
I once tried to convince Michael Sartori that he should make a volume version, many volumes of Tense Before Temples, in children's book form.
Did you see his gosh, he had like a on his channel like a retelling of like the Garden of Eden, Genesis 1, 2 and 3, as if they were like WWE wrestlers.
Yes.
Oh, it was great.
But children's books of like for Tense Before Temples, every chapter, children's book, some summarized version would be awesome. Are you kidding me? I don't know how it would be done, but it'd be like 1,600 pages of children's books.
Oh, let's say. And for the record, I do have a story entry in this zine that is, I'm not even sure if it's like targeting a younger demographic, but it features like a child detective. So it's like 10, like 6, 7, something like that.
6, 7.
We'll do a title drop here. The Adventures of Detective Banana Peel, Volume 1, The Model of Mrs. Bwisby. Hopefully, you guys like the affectation of a lisp, because
I love that.
That's awesome.
It's very cutesy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who was that, Mr. Brown, when we were growing up? Were you guys too young for
Encyclopedia
that?
Brown.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know that one.
Oh.
Really? You didn't read those?
I did not really start reading until high school.
Okay, this would have been way too young for you then too.
Yeah.
I really didn't start reading until I was like 30. So I'm serious. I hated reading.
Who says you can't train an old dog new tricks?
Yeah, dude. If I could, that's what I'm saying. If I could do it, anybody could do it.
Right?
All right. Gotcha. Well, my phone battery's dying.
Okay,
That's
well, that's the
weird.
case. Then we'll probably hold off on like giving your story a performance for the time being.
Well, I think it could survive. I've read it out loud once, a couple times before, actually, to people. It didn't
I
take
mean,
too long.
I am game.
Oh
if
wait, I
you
got a
are.
cord. Oh, my wife came to the rescue, and she
Oh,
Oh,
how
handed me the cord.
convenient! How convenient!
Oh,
She is a literary person, and she was very excited. I was doing it. So,
oh,
puppy, don't drink out of her cup.
it's
Thank you.
really appreciating both you and Chad have had like meaningful participation from your better halves in your story.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to give it a read, I've got it in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I gotta find it
Mhm.
on myself.
Yeah. Let me see.
We get it to one other person, then that would be.
I can do that. Da, da, da. Oh, it's not this one. It'll take me a minute. I can.
Why isn't it not there? Well, it's not showing me. Well, I guess that's for the better.
Not showing. What's that? Are you trying to read it on your phone while recording on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that a bad idea?
I mean, if it works, it works. I feel like this is going to end up with just me being the guy reading everything.
You are the mogger of readers in the Bible study.
Kirk is gunning for me, man. He has been up in his game tremendously, and I love to see it or hear it rather. Like he's
yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember what I did. I was looking in the wrong folder. All right.
Oh, it's on Google Docs here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I can at least forward this to Chad if Chad wants to help.
Could Chad do a British accent?
Oh, nope. I mean, it's more funny if you can't and you try really, really hard.
That would be true. Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna send it to Chad proper rather than just.
Yeah, just pretend to be Claire, Chad.
I watch lots of British television. Like that's all I watch. I don't even watch American TV anymore.
I'm gonna have to switch to my computer and get it. That's all right. We're switching. We're pulling on Audible.
Oh.
That's all right.
Okay, there we go.
I'm going in there. I can't get it. Oops.
Okay, I just emailed it to Chad. It's just in the body of an email, so you know.
And if you could do your best player.
We got echo.
I know. I'm leaving. Hold on. I'm in another room.
Everybody's adjusting.
Yep. This is
So this lady.
This is why I guess I need branding, so I can just do like a 5-minute pause while we like sort ourselves.
Yeah, I'll read a comment that the lady just wrote on my Substack for this story. She says, "Thanks for the food for thought today." Seemed like she didn't really read it.
I mean, it's a pretty fast turnaround if you published it an hour ago. Isn't this the best shirt though?
No.
Come on now.
It's amateur hour is what is happening right now, Grim. Amateur hour. For which I make no apologies.
This is my favorite one.
What's happening here? I'm not drinking a whiskey. That's what's happening.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I called her out. I was like, so what do you think of this story? Is what I asked her.
You didn't set her up, right? What'd you think of the girl in the tutu in the story?
No, see, the real trick is you got to put like ridiculous things in there that are like, oh, he's trying to play a game with me. It's like, no, you didn't read it. You gotta see these things in there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is the right version.
Oh, you mean this is the one that isn't edited?
No, okay, I think it's good. All right.
So keep it PG here, Olson. Chad's already taken us some dark places. We need something light for the bottom of the
PG.
This is a light one. This
I was
is a
gonna
light one.
say. I would say Olson does G-rated.
Right.
I can get the P.
Yeah.
I'm
Actually, no. It'd be even funnier if we give these guys the most like grizzled, hard-boiled voices you can imagine. Behind every great man stands a great woman.
Yeah. So who's the narrator? And Chad, you're gonna do your best British voice for our protagonist, Holmes.
How do I know it's him?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I didn't
Write it as a screenplay.
I didn't write it as a screenplay. It is very dialogue heavy, fortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know. Probably. All right.
Wait a minute,
right.
Holmes.
I mean, that's one of the things that we're learning, and kind of dealt with this a little bit because I played both a character and narrated when we read Chad's
Wait a minute.
story. And
Wait a minute. If a character's name is Holmes, this is the one that Grim Grizz read, or part of it.
He read a part? When did you do that?
Holmes and Holton?
No.
Okay.
I mean, oh
There's
gosh,
multiple
you
Holmes?
wrote a detective story and named your detective as an homage to the most famous fictional detective in all of like literary history.
I guess everybody, a lot of people did that.
But only one person is allowed to do that. So
I guess it wasn't me.
I guess so. Sorry, it's already taken. Send it back to the drawing board.
Send it back.
Do the
Send it
Control
back.
F, find and replace.
We're doing this live. We're doing it
Nope.
live. All right. So
I'll mute myself for the reading.
Yeah, I didn't label it well. So I don't know if Chad.
I mean, you wrote it. It's fine. I just wasn't quite ready for expecting this to be for public performance.
Public performance. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. All right.
So
you want you want to just read it solo?
I mean, do you want to just bounce back and forth, kind of paragraph to paragraph? That might be simpler. That way. I mean, I'll read it with you.
I should probably get going. Ann will be home soon.
Sure.
I'm gonna get confused if the voices are changing like that.
Yeah, it would change the voices. I think. I don't think I did.
I mean, I'm happy to play character and narrate. That's no problem.
Okay. Well, bye, Chad. Sorry, Chad. I didn't say bye, Chad.
Oh, see you, Chad.
See you, Chad. All right. Jesus, home.
Let me.
So you want to be? Do you know when? Who's who? So okay. So
I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it.
You want to be Jeeves or Holmes?
I will let you pick. I'll let you pick.
I'll be Jeeves. You can be Holmes.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna get off so that way it's just the two of you on the screen.
What?
And I'm gonna listen to it on YouTube. What? That way it's just the two of you.
So romantic.
Oh. Aw.
All right.
Jeez.
Are you doing the narration, or am I doing the narration?
Yes,
too?
yeah, and it starts not with quoted dialogue, but with like an epigram or epigraph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Epigraph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're G's, I'm Holmes.
Yeah, you're Holmes.
Okay. All right. Behind every great man stands a great woman. But if our hero is without a great woman, then a great man must suffice. Our hero prepares for a new case. Jeeves walks in carrying a silver tray. loaded with freshly made organic heirloom grain focaccia with the most chicken livery mousse any young 40-something-year-old man could imagine. He gently lays it on the bedside table, walks over to the curtains, and opens them wide, letting in the light, so that which was dark can now be seen.
Good morning, sir,
Says
says
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
A long, drawn-out ugh comes from the covers. Standing next to the bed at prompt attention, Jeeves extended his hand toward the head of the bed.
A letter came for you this morning, sir.
I was just dreaming of solving another case, and then you had to go and wake me up. Holmes grumpily replies as he rises from the covers, adjusts himself into a seated position, and grabs the envelope from Jeeves' outstretched hand. It was one where you received a letter from your old school, and while you read it, I correctly deduced who the letter was from and your feelings towards the letter.
Indeed, sir.
Jeeves replies with a slight, nearly imperceptible rise of his left eyebrow. Holmes opens the note, reads it, and then calmly hands it back to Jeeves. They got a new case for me. The chief wants me down at the precinct as soon as possible. Quick, prepare my bath.
Yes, sir.
Replied Jeeves.
Would you like your ducky with you this time, sir?
No, I don't have time for ducky today, Jeeves. A pause in action and speech occurs while Jeeves continues to stand spotlight at attention. All right, add ducky. A bath without ducky's no bath at all.
Indeed, sir.
Stepping out of the bath and into the warm embrace of a freshly laundered and pressed towel, still warm from the iron, held in the outstretched arms of Jeeves, Holmes wraps himself in it and asks, Jeeves, have you seen my scarlet cummerbund lately? I seem to have misplaced it.
Yes, I believe it is ironed and put back in your closet behind the white mess jacket with brass buttons, replied. Oh, sorry.
No, Jeeves replied with a slight sigh. Oh, thank you, Jeeves.
You're welcome, sir.
Sometimes I wouldn't know where I'd be without you, Jeeves. With all my mystery solving, I just can't seem to locate my things.
Indeed, sir.
Well, just the other day, I solved a mystery when you reminded me that there were scuff marks on the floor of the crime scene. And later on, I was able to put it all together when you, in passing, casually mentioned, when putting away my shoes, that one of the other valets was complaining how this gentleman always wore at the heel of his right shoe because of a freak brick fighting accident in his youth. The valet lamented the fact that he had to constantly go around after his master and clean up the scuff marks.
Very good, sir. Youth brick fighting can be quite hazardous to one's health, sir.
Yes, indeed, Jeeves. Comes the lackluster reply with a distracted air.
May I deduce from your tone that you're feeling a little melancholy today, sir?
Indeed, Jeeves. You've deduced correctly. I am feeling a bit sad because not everyone can be as observant as logical as I. I was thinking of my good friend, Bertie Watson. You know, Jeeves, he was helping me on a case the other day, and he just couldn't grasp the difference between the Christmas goose preparation and the New Year's goose preparation. Of course, the difference was critical in finding the blue carbuncle.
Indeed, sir. If I remember correctly, it was I who brought to your attention the difference in preparation for the two types of geese.
Jeeves says with a slight rise of his left eyebrow. Yes, Jeeves. Don't you see? It's so sad that normal people, like Bertie, don't grasp the details of a situation. Normies, as I like to call them, just don't see the thing behind the thing.
Indeed, sir.
The left eyebrow rose, ever slightly higher still. Jeeves, I've been looking this whole time for my pocket watch. Have you seemed to see it anywhere?
If I remember correctly, sir, when you came in last night, you were twirling it around your finger as you went to lay casually upon the couch while you reminisced about your day's case. You got excited, walked over to the piano where you needed your fingers to play the piano keys, and started to play the newest jingle by Chad the Musician. Quite a raucous ditty, if I remember correctly, about the modern metagelical man.
I've got it, Jeeves. I think I've solved the mystery of the missing pocket watch. I must have laid it down on the piano last night. Nothing brings me out of my ways like solving a mystery.
Very good, sir.
Jeeves, I have no idea where the city would be without my great deductive skills. They would all be living in squalor, with crime, mischief, and unsolved cases abounding.
Indeed, sir. I believe you'll be wanting this too, sir.
Well, yes, my monogram handkerchief. I've been missing it for a while now. Where in the world did you ever find them?
In the pocket of your white dinner jacket. If I remember correctly, it was hastily thrown into the kitchen on the other side of the stove when you came in with the excitement of identifying the primary criminal as Sandra Klein, after I reminded you that she had been romantically involved with Douglas Maberly.
Oh, yes. Well, too bad I couldn't officially charge her. I think your solution of having her return the manuscript and compensating Mrs. Maverly was a great solution.
Thank you, sir. You really must be going, sir. You know how the sergeant does not like to be kept waiting until lunch to give you a case.
Indeed, indeed. I will head out the door immediately. In a fuss and a fluster, Holmes hurriedly opens the door, goes through the door, and slams the door. Jeeves calmly walks to the door, picks a felt hat off a hook, and a cane out of the stick stand. He then holds them out at arm's length towards the door. A breath or two later, the door bursts open in a flurry of fabric, and man, Jeeves, I left my heart and my cane! Breathlessly exclaims Holmes.
Indeed, sir.
And Jeeves caringly extends his arms. Thank you, Jeeves. Right off to solve the mysteries of the city. Never a boring day in the life of a detective.
Indeed, sir.
The left eyebrow lowers, and a slight curvature of the lips appears on the right side of Jeeves' face. The briefcase of the missing mead. Our noble sleuth exclaims in exasperation. Jeeves, do you know what happened to my test on the effects of different types of mold on the fermentation of mead?
I put it outside in the garden because it was beginning to smell.
Jeeves, you never know when you're going to need to calculate the different rates by which a mead is fermenting to help solve a case. This was brought to my attention by my good friend Ronald Copperman. He kept going on and on and on and on and on and on about making mead. And it dawned on me there are a lot of mead makers out there. I may need to know the mead fermentation process and the effects of different substances like mold. How about it?
Indeed, sir.
Jeeves' slightly mischievous left eyebrow rises again to the occasion. No worries, Jeeves. Just go down there, collect the stuff, bring it right back up, and set it back up exactly as I had you set it up before.
Yes, sir. But may I suggest that I not do that now? I've already collected all the needed data. It is now correlated into the correct tables, and I have placed the information into easily understandable graphs. Your information is in a portfolio, which is currently being stored with the other portfolios you have had me write.
Oh, well, very good. Thank you, Jeeves. Our hero valiantly defends rationality, logic, and following the rules. The door on apartment 8B at number 7 Rue de la Homme opens and in walks Holmes. Home after a day, well, at least a few hours, of solving crimes as an independent detective consulting with the local police department. A made-up position that his Aunt Agatha helped arrange for him. He casually tosses his cane and hat to Jeeves, and then turns so that Jeeves can help him take off his outer coat. Jeeves, you wouldn't believe who I ran into while coming into the building just now.
Who, sir?
That old yakety-yakka, Paul Vanderklump. You know Jeeves. He's an American, Dutch, and Jewish. All of that and one little giant of a man. Well, get this, Jeeves. He kept going on about this God 1 and God 2.
Indeed, sir.
Yes! And I turned to him and I said, Oh, dear Paul, don't you understand? I'm strictly a materialist. I go by the facts. Only the facts. Well, he went on and on about how there needs to be something more than just a material. He kept knocking his cane against his head and saying things like, "This cane is a thing, but what is the thoughts of her an idea? I can't just buy an idea that the idea at the idea store." Couldn't follow him. I just wish he would have gotten to the point. Said he was going to let me into the building in just a moment, but he kept yakking for the next 10 minutes. I say, Jeeves, and the whole thing sounded very wooey to me. You know I don't like wooey things, Jeeves. Just the facts.
Indeed, sir. May I suggest that you do have a little woo in you?
Replied Jeeves, with an almost imperceptible nod of the head, and a slight rise of the ever-active left eyebrow. Why, what do you mean, Jeeves?
I mean, don't you love your Aunt Agatha?
Well, yes, of course, Jeeves.
Well, isn't love something greater than the material?
Well, that's different, Jeeves.
I see, sir.
Jeeves' head returns to its natural ramrod straight position, but the left eyebrow creeps ever higher. I mean, we can't get along without love, Jeeves. That's just not right. It's not natural. I mean, look at Savage Man. Even he knows how to love, but they know nothing about the metaphysical or the ontological reality of the purely physical and nothing else. Come now, Jeeves. Have an enlightened youth such as I.
Indeed, sir.
I mean, that's how I solve crimes, Jeeves. I look purely at the material. I deduce what can be deduced. I say what can be seen. I smell and taste and hear all that there is. I draw logical conclusions on a rational, deductive basis.
Very good, sir.
Replies Jeeves, with a slight nod of the head and a twitch of the already slightly raised left eyebrow. Oh no! You're raising your eyebrows like you do those times when you think I'm being daft.
Sorry, sir.
As Jeeves slowly lowers the one betrayer of his emotions. I mean, how can understanding love help me solve a crime? With a slight nod of his head, Jeeves indicates Holmes does make a point.
Indeed, sir. But may I point out that there can be more to life than solving crimes?
Preposterous, Jeeves. Solving crimes is what I do. That's what I'm known for, all over the world. Holmes spreads his arms out wide. The great Clarence Holmes, master of observation, logic, and deduction. It's all quite elementary.
Indeed, sir. Shall I prepare the toast with the currant and blackberry jam that you love?
Comes the reply from Jeeves as he turns toward the kitchen, thus hiding the betrayer. Well, yes, of course, Jeeves. I would appreciate that very much. I do love that currant and blackberry jam. Fills me with all kinds of joy. Well, I'm quite surprised by how much joy. It almost leads me to giggling. Imagine that. Me, giggling with joy and love. A few moments later, Holmes is reading the paper, and despite Jeeves' continued reminders to be respectful of the common surfaces in the house, where others might place a glass or a plate, and therefore should not be visited by one's feet, daintily slippered or otherwise, Holmes' clothed pedicle appendages appeared comfortably propped on the living room coffee table. The headline of the newspaper reads, U.S. President Houndman's son released on diplomatic technicality. Subheading, our treasured independent detective consultant Holmes' amazing sleuthing thwarted by bureaucratic technicalities. Jeeves?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand it.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, if we just had all the correct roles laid out before us, and everyone know what to do, and everything would run perfectly, whined the slippered rule breaker.
How so, sir?
Well, because if everyone knows the rules and agrees to them, then no one can complain when one breaks the rules and receives a consequence, because it's there for everyone to see.
I see, sir.
Answers Jeeves, while nodding slightly towards the coffee table and allowing for a full rise of the left eyebrow. Why did your eyebrow rise in that incredulous and accusing way?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Jeeves slowly answers while changing the position of the nod and only slightly lowering the left eyebrow. You nod your head and raise your eyebrows at me whenever there's something obvious that I'm missing. I wish you'd just be man enough and say it to me clearly, preferably in one sentence.
The rules of my profession state that I must say, I see, sir, in such situations.
Explains Jeeves, while returning his head from the nod, but leaving the eyebrow up and flying. Yes, I know the rules say that, but why can't you just say what you mean?
Because the rules of propriety in my profession do not allow me to say what I mean, sir.
But what if a rule said you could say whatever you wanted to say?
Indeed, sir.
Came the almost shocked and aghast reply, but with both eyebrows rising to the alarm this time. You just did it again!
Sorry, sir.
The eyebrows lower. Oh, never mind. And an unsettled pause settles on the conversation. To distract himself, Holmes leans back onto the couch, and with his cozily wrapped toesies still on the table, and starts to read the paper again. A few moments later, with a well-earned air of self-importance, Holmes exclaims to Jeeves while pointing at the front page. You see, if all the people would just follow the rules, then there wouldn't be as much crime. And when there is crime, there wouldn't be any discussion as to whether the person was innocent or not, because the rules have clearly said that they were, or they were not guilty. And the rules could give us clear indications of what we can and cannot do. So there would be no ambiguity. We would just get along by following the rules. Then, when I solve crimes, people wouldn't get off on technicalities, like in this case, where some cop didn't say the correct things while arresting the criminal. Seems like those cops are never saying the right things. They just seem to always be talk, but never about the right thing. I wish they would just grow up and say the right thing. Now, my brilliant deductions are lost to the world because the criminal has been let off the hook.
Indeed, sir.
Despite his best intentions, Jeeves is again betrayed by the mischievous left eyebrow. Well, there you go again!
The rules, sir.
With a great force of will, the eyebrow is forced back into submission and is lowered again. Yes, I know the rules. Still in contradiction to his own house rules, with his handsomely covered heels resting on the coffee table, Holmes opens the paper anew, fresh off a resoundingly successful pontification to the world, via his man Jeeves, about the way things should be. A while later, the end of a long day once again finds the great master detective, Clarence Holmes, on his settee, rereading for the umpteenth time his favorite book, a portfolio of news clippings highlighting all of his greatest cases. There's a knock at the door. Jeeves answers it. A messenger boy holds out an envelope and calls out, "Urgent message for Chris Howard,"
Thank you.
replies Jeeves as he takes the envelope in one hand and from another hands the young messenger boy a tip for his work. Jeeves closes the door and begins to open the envelope. Oh. Jeeves, wait, you can't open that, Holmes cried out for fear of the man, his friend.
Why not, sir?
Because you're not Chris Howard, and it's illegal to open someone else's mail. I don't want to add a case to my portfolio. Master Sleuth quickly solves case of meddling man.
I am, sir.
You are? What do you mean, Jeeves, you are?
I am he.
You're he? But I thought your name was Jeeves. That envelope is for Chris Howard.
Indeed, sir. You made an incorrect deduction on the first day I started working for you. I came in carrying a letter of inquiry your Aunt Agatha had sent to my cousin Jeeves from the Smiths family side to see if he could be engaged to be your man. He was not able to do so. He recommended me to the post instead. So when you saw the envelope on that first day, you assumed that was my name and have called me since. I never felt comfortable correcting you. I assumed you would correctly deduce it someday, sir, and that it would spare us both this awkward conversation.
Someday? How many days have you been in my employ?
1,095 days, sir.
Someday indeed, Jeeves. Chris.
Jeeves is fine, sir.
That was Jeeves and Holmes, submitted to This Little Zine. Ooh, kind of painted myself into a corner with that voice.
Yeah, that was a lot of that was a strain on those
Oh,
old vocal cords.
oh God, it's a lot of it's
There are
produced a
there
lot of saliva.
there are a lot of Easter eggs in there, so I hope people have fun finding them.
Yeah, there's just a couple big ones for sure.
So
Oh, that's
I wrote it. I wrote it almost all driving to work. I would put my notes on, and as I thought of the stuff, I would just dictate it into my notes app, and then came home and recorded them down.
nice. I heard tell that someone else did a lot of kind of like orality first, which is interesting.
A lot of dictation.
Yes. Is this that's feels like it's Jeeves and Wooster is sort of like the big kind of like at least like genre inspiration for you there.
Yeah, we were watching a lot of Jeeves and Wooster.
Nice.
My son appreciates some Jeeves and Wooster, and so we were. Now, technically, Jeeves and Wooster, the literary stories, they're actually done first person from Jeeves's or from Wooster's perspective,
Okay.
but I figured the third person was better in this case.
Yeah. I mean, I think it works a lot better, like performing it in this way. I'd say there's a certain I know like a lot of detectives are like internal monologuers, so like you can go both ways.
Mhm.
Also, it would be again like just the idea like it'd be doubly funny to have like Jeeves in these ridiculous situations, but his internal monologue is like a grizzled, hard-boiled detective.
That was exciting.
Yeah, my eyebrow raised higher to the slate gray sky. He refused to move his uncovered toes from the settee.
They were covered, but yeah, he refused to move. Yeah.
It's a barbarian, he is.
He wouldn't even. He didn't even get it. He didn't even understand. If he would only follow the rules and logic,
It's I mean just pure social harmony.
Well, thanks for letting me come on and read.
Absolutely. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you for sharing your contribution. This was a lot. This was a lot of fun to read.
Well, good. I'm glad it was.
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of fun writing it. I was
Okay.
cracking myself up. But
Okay.
my phone's at about 2%. So if you suddenly see me disappear,
Okay.
it's because people have come to ransack me for anger at this story.
Oh well, I mean, justifiably so. Copyright infringement, all sorts of nonsense.
Although I think Jeeves and Wooster is in the open, or at least some of them is in the open domain.
How do you now? What do you do if you got like a character who isn't yet in public domain, but like his early stories are? I guess that's sort of like the Steamboat Willie sort of situation, right? Where like some of like the first cartoons can be repurposed, but the character himself, or I don't know. I don't care. Not like I don't care. It's kind of interesting. But Foxman has got to talk about this. He keeps getting upset about copyright law.
Sorry, Foxman. You are in there though.
Well, not. That's right. I didn't catch that on my reading aloud through, but on the on a purely visual level, it's like I know who that is.
What other presidents do we know?
Right. I'm not sure who else I'd vote for.
Yeah. He's got my vote. I'll vote for him if he runs 2028. Foxman for president.
I'm not sure the world's ready for a Zoomer president yet. By which I mean, like, we're so ageist in this country that still won't let 20-somethings in there.
Still working on ladies. Yeah, you got to do ladies first and then 20-somethings.
Yeah. Well, someday.
I was really hoping Mrs. Dole would way back in the day. She was funny. I heard her talk sometimes. I was like, she's a firecracker. She's funny.
Oh, Ron coming in angry at your Elizabeth at your Dole suggestion. Apparently, this is the political hot button issue that's going to tear the corner apart.
Should Elizabeth
It's like
Dole
you
been
would have
elected?
voted for Mrs. Dole. Oh. Ugh.
So, all right. Well, I gotta keep going. I'm at 1%. So
Okay.
I'm at 1% now.
Well, yeah. Too hoity-toity for this stream, that's for sure.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so
Continue.
much for participating, Listen. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yep.
All right. Have a good night. Yeah. Well, this seems like a perfectly reasonable time to cut this stream down. Thank you so much to everyone who has submitted written submissions. We are slowly going to be rolling those out. I wasn't expecting to do the reading with Olson today, so that will probably be the next one that gets published in the nearest future. And yeah, like I said, we are planning a new zine issue that's going to be coming close on the heels of this one because I was super duper late this summer. So we talked about it a little bit. The prompt is basically going to be an Odyssey type journey where our captain is trying to journey home, and the story is going to be told exclusively in ship logs. So I encourage you all to start. I will submit a template to give you an example of what I'm looking at on the Substack recently. You're also welcome to email me at thislittlezine@gmail.com. Find This Little Zine on Substack. Yeah. Thank you guys so much thank you for everyone who contributed, everyone who was watching, and we will talk to you soon. Remember, everybody, we want what's best for you. The camera's up there. It's not down there. It's up there. Have a great night.